welcome guests and dear Toastmasters. It is a pleasure to speak in front of you today, and it was a huge pleasure to be invited to speak at the University of Tel Aviv, which is one of the prestige universities in Israel. Israel, as you know, is a big force of entrepreneurship and startups. It was actually named the Startup Nation. There's a really famous book about that. And I feel very privileged that I had the opportunity to give this speech in front of them. They contacted me to speak in front of entrepreneurs, master's degree students, PhDs, investors, and other people in the industry from that area, and to speak about my path as an entrepreneur. And what I will share with you today is the path that I discovered. It's not necessarily the path. I've never studied entrepreneurship. I barely did my first degree, which I will tell you in a second, and this is my path. So before I start, what we do in Galya is we find solutions. And more particularly, we focus in digitizing, socializing, and mobilizing different businesses, different clients, and end user. A few examples is, if you remember, I was giving a speech a few months ago about a social network that we built with a company called Galya. It's a social network for people that live in high-rises all over Toronto, all over Vancouver, and the US as well. And we built a platform for them and also a mobile app that basically connects the residents with each other and with their property managers. So that's one example. Another example, which I will talk later on today, is about a product that we came up with. The product is called Side of the Street, and it's a platform for businesses to create their own private social network in order to be able to engage their users and then monetize on it and reach their users. So I'll talk about that later on today. I discovered that there were 5 different steps for me to become an entrepreneur. Way before when I was just a little kid trying to be accepted to university, the only thing that I knew were the 2 paths. What are the 2 paths that Stanley mentioned and other people have mentioned? The 2 only paths that they tell us in society and family is get an education, right?
Right.
And then if you're lucky, get your career. And if you're really lucky, then you're going to have your career in the profession that you've chosen. Wow. How simple is that? Is it simple? Yes, was it simple for you? Yes, easy, right? I was surrounded by people, including my ex, that they got straight A's, and they've got their job, and they've got their education, they've got their first degree, second degree, third degree. Oh my God, my head is spinning. How is this possible? And I'm standing here in front of you in this prestige university at the Faculty of Medicine. And as I was walking here with my friends, I was telling my friends, listen, this is like I came through the back door, because you guys wouldn't even look at me when I try to get accepted. I didn't have the grades, I barely had the SATs, I had to do my SATs twice, and then I finally get accepted to Chicago, which is another university, and I actually finished my degree within the 4 years, but it was hell. And you know what I discovered when I went through this hell? I discovered that A, I hate programming. B, I'm not very good at physics, mathematics, statistics, all that. But the third thing that I discovered is that I'm very good at engaging people and at managing people. So I had all guys around me. There's unfortunately not a lot of girls. And I would manage every single guy. I would manage the professors and everybody around me. And I would say, well, listen, you're very good at math, and you're very good at physics, so how about you teach me what's going to be in the exam, and I will summarize all the classes for you. And so back then, I learned the skill of negotiating. I would sit down with a math professor after I finished writing the exam with my ex, and he would explain to me all the mistakes because I would fail in the first exam. And then I would sit down with the professor, and I would be like, listen, this fact is all wrong. I actually meant to write this. And you would reply back and you would say, Galya, this is a math exam. There's no negotiation. So of course that didn't work out. Nevertheless, I tried and I took another test. And in Israel, you actually have to take 2 tests. And then if you take the 3rd test and you fail, they kick you out. And every single time I will fail the first test and I will pass the 2nd test. So at the end, although nobody believed in me, including those professors, and that particular math professor, said, Galya, you will never finish this degree. My ex said to me, Galya, you're never going to finish this degree. I don't know how you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your money, just give up. I said, yeah, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to finish this degree within the 4 years, no I did. So, you know, you finish your degree, and what's next? What are you going to do? Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to do programming. No, I'm not going to do programming because I hate programming. And I remember that I'm really good with people. So I started with becoming a quality assurance engineer. And I would work with engineers. And I would study everything that they do. And I would understand because I studied algorithms and math and physics and all those different topics. And then I started getting involved in more and more projects. And I became a project manager. And I moved to Canada. And in Canada, I saw the opportunity. I created positions from nowhere. I was able to increase my salary. I was able to reach senior position within 1 year of being here. They told me, oh, do you have experience? Of course I have experience. I've got experience in university. I manage all the guys around me. But to be more serious is that I worked really hard. I worked hard. I got the positions that I wanted within my profession. And I became a senior product manager. Meaning that I would envision products for people and for companies. They would hire me, usually full-time, and then together we'll build products together. And we'll win different awards, best web awards and best video awards. It's all on my LinkedIn, it's all there. And yes, it brings me a lot of leads, but leads of people and recruiters trying to recruit me. Well, guess what? You reach this really high positions and quite high salaries, but there's a glass ceiling. And then I realized, this is not my destiny. My destiny is to be my own boss. I don't want to have a boss. I'm tired of being kicked to the curb because you reach really senior positions and then they hold you to it. And I want to do my own things. I have so many great ideas. But the important thing is that for me, before I became an entrepreneur, I had to learn. I had to get the education. I had to get the experience through those other companies, understand best practices, and then fly on my own. And although it seems like everything is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not. Everything for me was a mess. I actually came to Vancouver after living in Victoria, and I landed this really big contract with Yellow Pages. Lots of zeros. But I realized, well, they want me to incorporate in order to be able to get a higher pay. And if I'm incorporated, which means that maybe I need to do my own things. So what did I discover? I discovered that for me to become an entrepreneur, I can do 3 things. Number 1, I can create a service company and build products for other people. Number 2, I can become so good at what I do that I can become a consultant. And number 3, which is where I am today, is I can create my own products. And I can sell those products to other people. And so number 1, what do? Well, most people know that creating a service company is all about the clients. You try to get more clients and you get the ideas from the client and you build them different products. That was great, and I'm still doing it until today. Number 2 is becoming a consultant. Yes, this is me, social land. I decided I'm going to specialize in social. Projects that have got a social cause. That's what interests me. And so companies, until today, they hire me as a product person or as a project person, and together with their teams, we build products together and make it happen. But number 3, which is the holy grail for entrepreneurs, is to be able to create your own product, in which I had more time than a minute and a half. This new product that we came up with, this what I was mentioning to you, is about the cyber-to-suit platform. And what we've done is we're actually able to get a few new clients this past few months, which is it's an amazing start for my company. It's an amazing start because for me it's the final step. Obviously it's not the final step, we've got a lot more to do, but it's the final step for me to becoming a true entrepreneur, not building stuff for other people or being a consultant for other companies, but to do my own product. And because I want to create social networks, I want people to communicate with each other. I actually want to eliminate this online behavior and bring people into the offline behavior, where we meet with each other and we talk. So one of the first apps that we've done with this platform, the name is Wag Around, as in wagging your tail. And it's a new social network for dogs. Why? Because it's very difficult to know in Vancouver, where am I supposed to take my dog? Am I allowed to sit in Starbucks? Am I allowed to go to the art gallery? Well, yes, you're allowed. It's like a little small square. And if you download the app, you'll see really nice photos and descriptions of where those places are. And more to it, it's a self-serve system, meaning that you can create your own places that you want to take your dog to. So if you think about this platform, for dog owners, it's not really for dogs. For dog owners to hang out with their dogs and maybe have some play dates with other dogs, then you can replicate it to other businesses. these are the three paths that I found to be common on